Chosen one, it is no coincidence that you clicked on this video after watching so many others. This is the call of the universe that you are going through the greatest change in the universe. Your consciousness is awakening. You are now facing deeper truths. You have also started getting signs of this change. Do you feel a deep, unwavering peace that engulfs you even in the turmoil of the outside world? While others may be overwhelmed by stress or conflict, you find yourself feeling calm, centered, and stable. This is not coincidence, but right now, you are approaching the pinnacle of spiritual awakening. Your intuition is increasing to almost supernatural levels. You may start having vivid dreams that seem like premonitions or a supernatural ability to sense events before they happen. One of the most significant changes in your consciousness is an increasing detachment from material things. Money, fame, and possessions lose their grip on you. You no longer feel the need to chase material success to validate your worth. When you reach the advanced stages of spiritual awakening, your fear of death starts to fade away. You understand that death is not the end, but a transition to another form of existence. You have been chosen to flourish, rise, and receive blessings that will completely transform your life. Before the universe immerses you into this deep transformation, you can give your feedback to the universe by commenting 999. And if you are not connected to the energy of this channel, you can join by subscribing to the channel, and you can support us by super chatting. Profound inner peace amidst chaos. When you're on the verge of a profound spiritual awakening, one of the most noticeable changes is the deep, unshakable sense of inner peace that you begin to experience. This isn't the kind of peace that comes and goes based on your circumstances. It's a lasting, stable feeling that remains even when everything around you seems to be in chaos. Imagine the world around you in turmoil. There's stress at work, challenges in relationships, or global events that create uncertainty. Despite all of this, you find yourself feeling calm, centered, and at ease. It's as if you've tapped into a deeper, unmovable part of yourself that isn't easily disturbed by external events. This kind of peace is more than just relaxation or temporary calm. It's a profound inner shift where you stop being reactive to the world around you. Normally, when things go wrong, we get upset, frustrated, or anxious. But when you're approaching a high level of spiritual awakening, you begin to detach from this automatic response. You no longer let external situations dictate your internal state. Instead, you develop a sense of inner stability that stays with you no matter what is happening. This change happens because you start to recognize that most of the stress we experience comes from our attachment to outcomes. When we constantly feel the need to control our lives or the people around us, we set ourselves up for disappointment when things don't go as planned. But as you progress spiritually, you learn to let go of this need for control. You realize that while you can't always control the events in your life, you can control how you respond to them. And once you master this, peace becomes a natural part of your being. Letting go of the need to control everything doesn't mean you become passive or uncaring. It actually allows you to engage with life in a healthier, more balanced way. You still take action when necessary, but you do so from a place of trust. You trust that everything is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't make sense at the moment. This shift in perspective helps you stay calm because you're no longer fighting against the natural flow of life. You've stopped resisting what is happening, and instead you accept it with grace and understanding. Another reason this peace emerges is that you begin to see through the illusions created by the ego. The ego thrives on fear, competition, and a sense of separation from others. It's constantly trying to protect itself and maintain control, which leads to feelings of anxiety, insecurity, and stress. But when you're on the path to spiritual awakening, you start to see that the ego isn't the real you. You begin to connect with your higher self, the part of you that is infinite, loving, and deeply connected to the universe. This connection dissolves the ego's grip on you, and as a result, you no longer react to life from a place of fear or need. You realize that many of the things that once caused you stress or worry don't have the same power over you anymore. Things like societal pressures, material possessions, or other people's opinions lose their importance. Instead, you become more aligned with your inner values and truths. You begin to operate from a place of divine alignment, meaning you are guided by a higher sense of purpose and understanding. When you live from this place, peace naturally follows because you're no longer distracted by the noise of the world or the chatter of the ego. This profound inner peace is a sign that you are becoming more in tune with your true self and the larger flow of the universe. It shows that you've moved beyond the ego's limited perspective and are now operating from a higher state of consciousness. Heightened intuition and psychic abilities. As you approach the higher stages of spiritual awakening, one of the most profound changes you'll notice is the sharpening of your intuition and the development of what can feel like psychic abilities. This isn't something that happens overnight, but gradually you'll find that your sense of knowing becomes stronger and more reliable. Intuition, often described as a gut feeling or inner guidance, becomes so clear that it feels almost supernatural. You might suddenly know things without any logical explanation or begin to experience vivid dreams that seem like premonitions of future events. These signs are not random. They are clear indicators that you're tapping into something much deeper than ordinary consciousness. Intuition, at its core, is the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. It's that inner voice or feeling that gently nudges you in the right direction or warns you about something before you have all the facts. As you become more spiritually awakened, this inner voice grows louder and more precise. For example, you might have a feeling about a person you've just met, perhaps sensing their true intentions or knowing what they're going through without them telling you. You could also start sensing the energy of places, walking into a room and immediately picking up on whether it feels calm, tense, or full of love. This heightened intuition often extends beyond just feelings. It can also manifest in psychic abilities. These abilities might include telepathy, picking up on the thoughts or emotions of others, clairvoyance, the ability to see things that aren't physically present, or even precognition, the ability to foresee future events. You may find that you start to receive flashes of insight or visions that give you deeper understanding or guidance. This might happen in dreams, during meditation, or even in quiet moments of reflection. Sometimes the insights you receive are so accurate that they feel like magic, but really, they are just part of the natural spiritual evolution you're undergoing. Why does this happen? As you become more spiritually awakened, you're essentially tuning into the collective consciousness, the universal energy that connects all living beings. This collective consciousness holds wisdom far beyond what we typically access in our day-to-day lives. By connecting with it, you begin to receive information and insights that are not limited to the physical world. You become sensitive to the subtle energies that flow around and within you. It's like you've tapped into a higher frequency, one that allows you to perceive things others might miss. This heightened awareness also helps you make decisions more easily and confidently. Because you're receiving guidance from your higher self and the universe, you're less likely to second-guess yourself. You start to trust that you're being led in the right direction, even if you don't always understand the reasoning behind it. This trust is key. It allows you to follow your intuition more freely without needing to rationalize everything with your mind. The development of these abilities also deepens your sense of connection to the world around you. You begin to feel more in tune with nature, animals, and other people. You may notice that you can sense someone's mood before they speak or feel when someone is in need of comfort or support, even from a distance. This heightened empathy is another form of psychic ability, as you're not only aware of your own emotions, but also able to tap into the emotional states of others with ease. It's important to note that these abilities aren't about having power over others or performing party tricks. They are tools for greater understanding and compassion. As your intuition and psychic abilities grow, you become more attuned to the needs of those around you and more capable of offering help and support. You're not using these gifts to impress people or control situations, but rather to align more deeply with the flow of life and contribute to the well-being of others. Detachment from material desires. As you progress on your spiritual journey, one of the most profound changes you will experience is an increasing detachment from material desires. This doesn't mean you suddenly give up all material things or start living a minimalist lifestyle, unless that resonates with you, but rather, your relationship with material possessions changes radically. Things that once seemed very important, like money, status, or property, begin to lose their hold on you. You realize that while these things may provide comfort or convenience, they do not define your worth or bring lasting happiness. In our everyday lives, many of us have become accustomed to believing that success and happiness are tied to external achievements. We are often taught that accumulating wealth, climbing the career ladder, or owning the latest gadget is the measure of our worth. But as you spiritually awaken, you begin to see this illusion. You realize that no amount of money, fame, or material possessions can bring the deep sense of satisfaction that comes from within. You begin to feel a sense of inner fulfillment that does not depend on what you have or how much you achieve. This shift occurs because you begin to understand that material things are transitory. Money can come and go, possessions can break down or lose their appeal, and the recognition you receive from others can be temporary. As you become detached from these things, you become less affected by their presence or absence. You no longer feel the need to pursue material success to prove your worth or fill a void. Instead, you begin to focus on the things that really matter: your spiritual growth, your relationships, and your ability to make a positive contribution to the world. It is important to note that detaching from material desires does not mean rejecting or denying the material world. It is not about living in poverty or avoiding pleasure. Rather, it's about finding balance and understanding that material things are tools, not the ultimate source of happiness. You can still enjoy nice things, but you don't base your identity on them. You don't need them to feel worthy, and you're not devastated when they're gone. This leads to a feeling of freedom because you're no longer a slave to wanting more. The more you detach from material desires, the more you connect with the higher truths of life. You begin to see that true satisfaction comes from love, connection, and service to others. Your priorities shift from seeking wealth or recognition to developing inner peace, compassion, and wisdom. You may find yourself drawn to activities that nourish your soul, like spending time in nature, practicing mindfulness, or helping those in need. These experiences bring a greater sense of happiness and purpose than anything material could. This detachment allows you to experience life more fully because you are no longer distracted by the constant pursuit of external goals. When you are no longer obsessed with having more money, a bigger house, or the latest technology, you are more present in the present. You begin to appreciate the simple pleasures in life, like a beautiful sunset, a meaningful conversation, or a moment of peace. These moments bring a richness to life that goes far beyond anything material. Detaching from material desires is a sign that you are moving beyond the lower vibrations of the ego. The ego always seeks validation and security from the outside world, but this pursuit is endless and never fully satisfies. When you begin to let go of these ego-driven desires, you step into a higher state of consciousness where you realize that true happiness and fulfillment come from within. You begin to see yourself as part of something much bigger, a universal flow of energy and love that is far more meaningful than any material success. Deep empathy and compassion for all living beings. As you journey toward the highest stages of spiritual awakening, one of the most powerful changes you'll notice is the deep, overwhelming sense of empathy and compassion you feel for all living beings. This isn't just a fleeting feeling or a kind thought. It's a profound shift in how you view the world and your place in it. You begin to understand that the separation we often feel between ourselves and others is an illusion. At the deepest level, we are all connected, part of the same universal source, flowing through everything and everyone. This sense of interconnectedness leads to a natural outpouring of empathy. You start to feel what others are feeling, not in a distant, detached way, but as if their emotions are your own. Whether it's the joy of a loved one or the suffering of a stranger, you feel deeply connected to the experiences of others. This empathy extends beyond just people. It also includes animals, nature, and the planet itself. You begin to see that all forms of life are precious and deserving of care and respect. As this sense of empathy grows, so does your compassion. Compassion is more than just feeling empathy. It's the desire to act on it, to help alleviate suffering wherever you encounter it. You may find yourself drawn to causes that aim to reduce suffering, whether it's advocating for the environment, animal rights, or humanitarian efforts to support vulnerable people. You feel a calling to make the world a better place, not out of a sense of duty, but from a place of genuine love and care for all beings. This transformation happens because, through your spiritual awakening, you begin to see the world in a new light. You recognize that the suffering of others is not separate from your own. It's all part of the collective experience. You understand that when you help someone else, you're also helping yourself and contributing to the healing of the entire world. This shift in perspective breaks down the barriers of ego that once kept you focused on your own needs and desires. Now you see the bigger picture, and it becomes clear that we're all in this together. Compassion becomes one of the central forces in your life. It's a natural extension of your spiritual growth as you move beyond the self-centered concerns of the ego and align with the higher truths of the universe. You realize that love, kindness, and service to others are not only fulfilling on a personal level, but are also essential to the greater balance of life. When you act with compassion, you raise the vibration of the world around you, helping to bring healing and harmony to the collective consciousness. What's remarkable about this level of compassion is that it's not selective. You don't reserve your kindness only for those who are close to you or those who you think deserve it. Instead, you feel a universal compassion for all beings, regardless of their situation, background, or behavior. This doesn't mean you condone harmful actions or allow others to mistreat you, but you understand that even those who cause harm are acting out of their own suffering and ignorance. You see beyond their actions and recognize the divine spark that exists in every being. This deep compassion also helps you cultivate forgiveness, both for yourself and others. You understand that everyone is on their own spiritual journey, and sometimes that journey involves mistakes, missteps, and moments of ignorance. Instead of holding on to anger or resentment, you're able to let go and forgive, recognizing that these emotions only serve to weigh you down and keep you disconnected from love. In this way, compassion becomes a path to inner freedom as much as it is a way to help others. Living with this level of empathy and compassion transforms your entire approach to life. You find that your priorities shift. What once seemed important, like personal achievement or material success, now takes a back seat to the desire to contribute to the greater good. You feel a deep sense of fulfillment when you help others, when you stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves, or when you take steps to protect the environment. These acts of service bring you a sense of purpose that no external success ever could. Synchronicities are constantly appearing. As you ascend toward higher levels of spiritual awakening, one of the most fascinating and magical phenomena you will begin to notice is the frequent appearance of synchronicities. Synchronicities are those meaningful coincidences that feel too perfect or aligned to be chalked up to chance. They are subtle, yet powerful signs from the universe, signaling that you're in the flow of a higher purpose, deeply connected to the energies that guide your path. At first, these synchronicities might show up as little things. Seeing repeating numbers like 1111 or 444 multiple times throughout your day, or hearing a song on the radio that speaks directly to something you've been thinking about. Perhaps you're considering a big decision, and suddenly, everywhere you turn, you're receiving signs that guide you in a certain direction. You might think of someone and they text you moments later, or you meet someone who provides exactly the information or connection you need at just the right time. These are not random happenings. They're the universe's way of communicating with you, showing that you're in sync with the flow of life. When you experience synchronicities, it's like receiving cosmic winks from the universe, confirmations that you're on the right track. These events often feel magical because they defy the logic of ordinary cause and effect. They seem to occur at just the perfect moment, reinforcing the idea that there is a larger, invisible force at work, guiding you toward your higher purpose. As you progress in your spiritual journey, you start to notice these moments of synchronicity more often because your awareness is heightened. You're more attuned to the signs and symbols around you, and as you pay attention, you realize that the universe is constantly communicating with you. One common form of synchronicity is encountering repeating number sequences. Numbers like 1111, 222, or 444 hold special significance and are believed to carry spiritual messages. For instance, seeing 1111 might be a reminder that you are aligned with your higher self, or that a spiritual gateway is opening for you. These numbers can also serve as wake-up calls, urging you to pay attention to your thoughts, actions, or the direction of your life. They're gentle nudges from the universe, letting you know you're in the flow of divine timing. Beyond numbers, synchronicities can also show up through encounters with people, animals, or objects that seem to appear just when you need them. You might find yourself meeting someone who offers the exact advice or opportunity you were seeking, or crossing paths with a stranger who shares a message that deeply resonates with you. It's as if the universe is orchestrating events and people to come into your life to help you move forward on your spiritual path. These moments aren't coincidences. They're confirmations that you are in alignment with your soul's purpose. The beauty of synchronicities is that they encourage you to trust in the flow of life. They remind you that you don't need to force things to happen. Rather, when you are in alignment with your true self and your higher purpose, the universe will guide you effortlessly. You'll find that the more you open yourself up to these signs, the more they appear. This creates a deep sense of connection to the divine, a knowing that you are supported and guided by forces greater than yourself. Another reason synchronicities are so significant is that they help you tune into your intuition. Often, synchronicities serve as external confirmations of what your inner voice has been telling you all along. For example, you might have a gut feeling that you should pursue a certain opportunity, and then you start seeing signs everywhere pointing you in that direction. These moments help you build trust in your intuition, reinforcing the idea that you are being divinely guided. It's also important to note that synchronicities aren't limited to big, life-changing moments. They can show up in the everyday flow of life, guiding you in small but meaningful ways. Perhaps you're thinking about making a change in your career, and then, out of the blue, You receive an unexpected job offer or hear about an opportunity in casual conversation. Or you've been struggling with a personal challenge and suddenly you come across a book, a quote, or a conversation that offers the exact wisdom you need to move forward. These instances might seem minor, but they carry profound meaning, showing you that the universe is always guiding and supporting you. Synchronicities are a powerful confirmation that you're in alignment with the universe. They signal that you're moving in the right direction, even if things don't always make logical sense in the moment. These meaningful coincidences remind you that there's a greater intelligence at play in the unfolding of your life, and as long as you remain open and aware, you'll continue to receive guidance. Synchronicities are like signposts along your spiritual journey, encouraging you to trust the process, stay connected to your intuition, and embrace the magic of the universe working through you. When synchronicities become a frequent part of your life, it's a clear indication that you're in a state of spiritual alignment, living in harmony with the flow of the universe. This sense of connection is one of the greatest gifts of spiritual awakening, offering both guidance and confirmation that you're walking the path of your higher purpose. Loss of fear of death. As you move deeper into your spiritual awakening, one of the most transformative shifts you may experience is the gradual loss of fear surrounding death. This change in perspective isn't sudden, but rather a deep, profound understanding that begins to unfold as you awaken to your true nature as an eternal being. You start to see death not as an end, but as a natural transition, a doorway to another form of existence. The fear that once accompanied thoughts of death, of the unknown, begins to dissolve, replaced by a sense of peace and acceptance. This shift occurs because you come to realize that the essence of who you are is not tied to the physical body or the life you're currently living. Instead, you begin to understand yourself as a soul, a spiritual being having a temporary human experience. The body is just a vessel, and while it will eventually pass away, your true self, your consciousness, continues. Death is no longer something to dread or avoid thinking about. It's simply part of the infinite cycle of existence, much like birth. This awareness liberates you from the fear that so often grips people when they consider their mortality. The fear of death is largely driven by the ego, which is deeply attached to the physical world and the identity it has created. The ego clings to life because it believes that death is the ultimate end, the cessation of everything it knows. However, as you awaken spiritually, you transcend the ego's limited perspective and begin to recognize the greater truth, that life is eternal and death is merely a change in form, a shift from the physical realm to the spiritual. You no longer view life as something finite or fragile, but as an ongoing, evolving journey. This newfound understanding brings immense freedom. Without the weight of fearing death, you're able to live more fully in the present moment. You no longer carry the constant underlying anxiety about when or how your life will end. Instead, you embrace life with a sense of openness and curiosity, knowing that whatever happens, your true essence is safe and eternal. This allows you to live with more courage, love, and joy, unburdened by the fear that once held you back. The loss of fear of death is a powerful indicator of spiritual growth. It shows that you've moved beyond the limitations of the ego and embraced the deeper truth of your existence, that you are a spiritual being, part of an infinite, eternal cycle of creation. Connection to higher realms and beings. As you ascend to the higher stages of spiritual awakening, a remarkable experience often unfolds, the sense of a direct connection to higher realms and beings. This connection might come in various forms, through meditation, dreams, or spontaneous moments of clarity where you feel a presence beyond the physical world. You may encounter spiritual guides, angels, or even ancestors who offer guidance, support, and wisdom from dimensions that transcend the earthly plane. These encounters deepen your understanding of the universe's vastness and the interconnected web of life that extends far beyond what we perceive in everyday reality. One of the first ways you might experience this connection is through meditation. As your mind quiets and your awareness expands, you may sense a shift in energy. Sometimes, this feels like a profound sense of peace and love surrounding you. Other times, you might receive messages, insights, or inner knowing that feel as if they are coming from a higher source. This could be guidance about your life path, clarity on a situation, or even a comforting presence that reassures you in times of doubt or challenge. These experiences go beyond your own thoughts or feelings and carry a distinct sense of wisdom and unconditional love. Another common way people connect to higher realms is through dreams. In these dreams, you might meet spiritual guides or beings of light who provide answers to questions you've been pondering or reveal deeper truths about your existence. These dreams often feel more vivid and real than typical dreams, leaving you with a sense of peace and clarity upon waking. Sometimes the messages you receive in these dreams can provide profound shifts in your understanding of the world and your purpose within it. They may reveal that you are never alone and that unseen forces are always supporting you. Spontaneous moments of connection can also occur during your daily life. You might feel a sudden surge of energy or warmth, an inner knowing that you are in the presence of something greater. These moments often bring about feelings of awe, gratitude, or deep love, and they remind you that there is much more to existence than what we can see with our physical eyes. Some people describe these encounters as feeling as if they are being watched over or protected by benevolent beings, such as angels or ancestors. Others may feel as though they are receiving downloads of information, intuitive hits, or sudden clarity about complex issues. The presence of spiritual guides or higher beings is not something you need to earn or seek out. It naturally becomes more accessible as you continue to raise your vibration and expand your consciousness. These beings exist in higher dimensions, realms of existence that operate at a higher frequency than the physical world. As your spiritual awareness grows, your energy begins to resonate with these higher frequencies, making it easier for you to sense and connect with them. This is a sign that your consciousness is expanding beyond the earthly plane, allowing you to access wisdom from higher dimensions. One of the most significant aspects of connecting with higher realms is the realization that you are part of a much larger supportive network of energies and beings. You come to understand that you are never alone. There are always forces working on your behalf, guiding you toward your highest good. Whether these are guardian angels, spirit guides, ancestors, or other benevolent beings, their presence reminds you that life is filled with infinite support. This knowledge can bring immense comfort, especially during times of uncertainty or hardship, as you feel reassured by the presence of these higher forces. These connections also deepen your understanding of the universe's interconnectedness. You start to see that everything in the universe, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, is part of a greater whole. You recognize that the wisdom you receive from higher realms isn't just for your own benefit, but is part of a larger cosmic dance where every being plays a role in the unfolding of life. This awareness brings a sense of unity, love, and purpose as you realize that you are contributing to something far bigger than yourself.